Thank you for that kind introduction. Dean Banavar, department chairs, members of the faculty, honored guests, and most important, graduating students in the College of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences. This is a wonderful day. A joyous occasion, a time for celebration, a time for fond memories, a time to look forward. You graduates are receiving degrees from the finest college of one of the best universities in the world. You deserve to be proud of your accomplishments, and as a member of your college, I'm happy to congratulate you for what you have achieved. I know that you're eager to get on with this happy ceremony, to receive your diplomas, to rejoice with your fellow students as they receive theirs, and to move on to a different kind of celebration with your family and friends afterwards. But first, you have to listen to me giving this address. I know how you feel. I've been to a lot of commencements, and I've listened to a lot of commencement speeches, and I can assure you that I remember little of any of them. And I don't expect you to remember much about this one. So instead of giving you, instead of giving you a lot of advice about how to manage the rest of your lives, I would like instead to invite you to remember what has happened to you at the University of Maryland. You and your families may have had any number of hopes about what would happen when you came to this great university. Being trained for a good job, meeting interesting people, participating in exciting sporting events, going to awesome parties, growing up, moving out. But something else happened. In spite of your fondest desires, or maybe because of them, you have been educated. You've learned how to think about the world in different ways. You've learned that neither you nor anyone else has all the answers. You've learned how to learn. Whether the next stage of your careers takes you on to more schooling, to a job, or to something not yet known, because of what has happened to you here, because of the fact that you have been educated and not just trained, you have the opportunity to continue to learn for the rest of your lives. One of my mottos is that a good day is a day when I learn something new. And I have a lot of good days. As students of the University of Maryland, you've been educated. As students of the College of Computer, Mathematical, and Natural Sciences, you've been educated in a particularly important way. You have learned to think like scientists. This is no small matter. In spite of the fact that so much of the life of modern society is dominated by the impacts of scientific discoveries and technological developments, many people in this society have little or no idea of how any of this came to be or of the kind of thinking that makes any of this possible. For most people, the idea of gathering evidence, verifying the quality of that evidence by direct observation or experiment, and drawing conclusions based on evidence and reason, for most people, that way of thinking is completely foreign. Now, I would be the last person to claim that the scientific way of thinking is the only valid one. Surely, we human creatures benefit from thinking about art, poetry, music, faith, love, and life in ways that are not strictly scientific. But your disciplines in astronomy, atmospheric and oceanic science, biology, cell biology and molecular genetics, chemistry and biochemistry, computer science, entomology, geology, mathematics, and my own field, physics, are advancing human knowledge and improving the lives of people by using scientific thinking, an evidence-based understanding of the world we inhabit. As graduates of this college, you are the heirs of that great tradition. I say this not only to congratulate you on reaching this point in the grand history of human progress, but to remind you of the great privilege that has been given to you. Only a small fraction of the young people in this country, or even more so in the entire world, have had the privilege of an education like the one you have received. With such privilege comes responsibility. You have many different ways, many different opportunities to fulfill that responsibility. Some of you may become researchers, carrying on the traditions of your mentors here at the University of Maryland, creating new knowledge, advancing our understanding, and thereby improving the human condition. Some of you may become teachers, continuing the all-important process of education and learning. Some of you may apply what you've learned in scientific and technological jobs, serving society in any number of ways. Others may pursue careers in very different areas. One of my own postdocs went into management consulting. His problem-solving abilities as a physicist were highly valued in the business world. Some of you may bring the critical thinking and reasoning you learned here to similarly diverse fields. Or you may find that the place where your brand of thinking emerges is in everyday conversations with your family and your friends. Many people in our society are uncomfortable with the concept of fractions and percentages, let alone algebra and calculus, or the subtle yet essential concepts of scientific inference. Your ability to bring to the table of common discourse your experience in this college may be the most important way in which the legacy of scientific thought plays out. A community whose members employ reason and who respect evidence is one of the most effective imaginable engines for generating societal good. You have come to this university from many different places, different geographical, cultural, and educational places. You have learned from teachers who are similarly diverse, and you have learned equally from your fellow students and friends. The culture of the educational discipline that you received from your mentors has added to all the talents you brought with you and to all of the experiences you have had to produce a mixture, an amalgam that is unique to each one of you. That amalgam is the gift you received from your families, your friends, and your teachers. It's a gift for which I know you are deeply grateful. Grateful to your families for their support and for the grounding they gave you and continue to give you. Grateful to your teachers and mentors for educating you in your chosen academic discipline. Grateful to your friends for those essential and enduring personal relationships and for all the ways in which they have contributed to what you have become. These are the gifts you have received, and that entire package is the gift that you now can offer to the entire human community. At the beginning of this address, I said that I remembered little of the many commencement speeches I have heard, but there is one that I do remember. I was once privileged to share in a commencement where the famous cellist Yo-Yo Ma gave the address. The event was particularly memorable because as part of his address, Yo-Yo Ma treated us to a musical interlude on his cello. And the spoken message he left with the audience was this: just as each musician must find his or her unique voice, that particular style and manner that sets one musician apart from the others, each of us must find our voice, the way in which we will use our gifts. Tomorrow is the 21st of December, 2012. Because of an oddity of the ancient Mayan calendar, some people believe it will be the end of the world. I promise that for you, tomorrow is not the end, but the beginning, the commencement of the next stage in your lives, where you will find your voice, the way in which you will use your unique blend of talent and scientific education to make a positive difference in the world. Today, you celebrate. Tomorrow, what? For many of you, tomorrow appears filled with uncertainty. And honestly, the future is always uncertain for all of us. But uncertainty is just another name for adventure. No one can tell you the path you will take. You must find that path yourself. But you are graduates of the University of Maryland. You can do it. Good luck.